Ocean. Man, people run flooding this thing, man. Get it here. Hurt. Who hurt? Hey, beautiful. You're I'm gonna have the admins come in here in a minute, y'all. So we just sit here relaxing here. I'm just trying to get my phone to turn on so we can play some music, but I just appreciate you guys being here, man. I really do. Man, God gets the glory. You know what I mean? What's up, Cotton? Yeah, we're super excited, y'all. We're super excited being here. Um, I'm happy you guys here, man. Happy you guys here. So super excited about it. Hey, Jen. Thank you, Sarah. Mister, what's going on? How you feeling? We got some people in here. We got some top badges in here. We got some future top badges in here. Yeah. We got some people in here. Oh man, this is look at here, man. What up, Luck? Appreciate it for the fire, man. Hey, listen, y'all. I need you guys here. It look like we have more men in here than women. So if you guys are interested, play a part or a role on this show, man, it really means a lot to me, y'all, because men don't like to talk about things, right? So it means a lot to me if you guys can step up to the plate and give a topic, man. You can give somebody some of the best advice, maybe going through something, man. So I just think everybody, men should be start speaking out a little more, man. I am gonna have the admins come in here in a minute. Once everybody get in here. Appreciate you, man. Hit the top gifters with the fave. So this how it works, y'all. I created a show. I don't choose the topic. I do not choose the topic. The way, what's up, Cuzzo? I don't choose the topic. So the way it works is, whoever my top gift of the show will choose the topic for the following week. So that's how it works. 8:15 is the cutoff time, right? So I don't choose at all. I haven't chosen since I started. So whoever my top gift is, please be informed. We'll put you on the flyer. You know what I mean? And then shout out your name, man, being the top gift of the show. And then also you choose the topic. Appreciate you, Sarah. You choose the topic of the show for the following week. Hope you guys got some crazy ideas, man, or you may be going through some stuff, right? Or know somebody dealing with something. Man problems, woman problems, friendship, companionship, any ship you decide to be on. You know, you choose the topic, we'll come up with the questions. When we come up with the questions, sometimes these questions get real controversial. Sometimes these questions get really, really deep. So I appreciate you guys being here. I'm gonna just tune in here. Let's see here. I think she sent me. Where did you send me the questions at, Brooke? Because my app, this app is acting up, man. Okay, got the questions. All right, she'll tell you what the topic is about, y'all. Give me a second. I'm gonna give me 1 second. And she'll tell you what the topic is about today. And she'll give you the first question for everybody. Hello?
Okay, Ocean, are you here? Hello, everyone. Is that Sarah? Hi,
I'm gonna meet
Sarah.
you.
Oh, no, 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 no. Don't make me big.
That's crazy. That's wild.
Hate the big. Make me regular. Yeah, there we go.
That's wild, y'all. Enjoy.
See, now that's room for both of us.
I enjoy a good conversation.
Thank you.
Hello.
That's great.
Sorry, I've just put my phone on charge. It's got 5%. The kids have been playing.
It's you two with bad batteries. Okay. Um, but good morning or evening, everyone. This is Men Take a Seat with Big Country. Ocean down here is one of our admins. So if you ever want to be on the show or know someone to be on the show, hit either one of us up. I think your IG's in your bio too, Ocean, right? Is your yes? Can you hear me?
It's just
Nope, I
in
can't hear. Oh,
bio.
there we go. Okay,
What up, Teddy?
IG's
You
in
can't
the
hear me?
bio, so please hit us
He
up. I
said
can
it.
now.
Oh,
Okay, so this subject today, I don't know if she's in here. BB Dubs, are you in here?
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, she might pop up. She usually does. BB Dubs chose the subject. She won last week. It is like going to be about when it is okay to, or like your
Before you
first,
spill
or
it,
like
before you spill it. Hey, real quick, who all in here got kids? In here, put a 1 in the comment. Number 2, who in here that been with somebody that had kids? Put a 2 in the comment. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm starting to go ahead.
okay. So it is the subject is like when it is okay to, and sorry, I'm getting into the thing. So it will be like one of our question is, sorry, I'm getting into it real quick.
What's the subject about? What's the topic about? I mean,
That
It's
it is
basically like
when it is okay to, like when it is, oh,
bonus.
bonus.
Turn it off. That's a bonus. Hello.
You got it? You got Ocean.
I think hers
What?
lagged a little bit.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, I'm lagging. I was just saying it's basically like how soon is too soon,
mhm.
like for moving in or discussing future plans or
Saying
dating
I
after
love
a
you,
breakup.
or
Anything
mhm,
that's like how soon would
anything.
be too soon.
So this one is kind of cool because it's got a couple of different subjects in it. It all stems into one, but it's got a little few different topics in it, which is kind of cool. Like, because usually it's all on one thing, but this is Ocean and myself worked on the questions, and it's got different things, which I think will work for a lot of us. So this is really cool because it's not like the men get to decide on um,
What up,
how they
God?
feel about it, and it's not what other people feel. It's about how they feel, or maybe your situation. Maybe you've been in that situation, maybe not, but just give your honest opinion, advice, whatever it is. We have JT and we have Ace Mask on here, so it'll be really cool. Different people favorite everyone. If everyone has a um what are they called, boost, what are they called, spotlight
Like spotlights, yeah.
spotlight things, can you use them? Because this isn't featured yet, we're trying to get it featured. So like just spread the word, share the live. Yes, exactly like Teddy's doing, so we can get it boosted as much as we can. It would be amazing. If he doesn't acknowledge any gifts throughout, he will, but it's just like sometimes the conversation's like really good, you know. But the top gifter of the stream at what time your time,
8:15. 8:15
eight
out for now.
15 um is the winner for next week. And we have Turk and Top Badge Turk, and we have Casino on next week. So super
That's
exciting.
exciting.
But have you got a question, Ocean, or I'll ask one?
Just one from the questions.
Okay, so we'll
Hang
say,
on.
so we're gonna say, all right, one from the questions is, how long do you typically wait before starting to date after a breakup?
All right, people in the comment, you guys can throw y'all answers in there, and then I just want to see the answers. And again, y'all, men, please. What's
Don't
up,
be.
real?
Give me 1
6
second.
It
months.
Just give me
depends on
1
your
second.
So,
healing journey. It all
guys,
depends.
let that question sizzle in your spirit, okay?
And
Let it
now
sizzle in your
we'll
spirit
hear
real
from
quick.
the men.
And
Ace
go
and
ahead.
JT, please request the box, because that'll be our first question.
All right, yeah, we're gonna get the
Okay.
answer from them
All right.
guys.
All right.
All right.
Man, look at this. Look at these
How you
gentlemen.
doing? What's going on? How you doing? Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, JT missed the memo. Yeah, we in here, y'all. We in here. So the question was, The question was, how long? Put the question in the comments, Ocean or Brooke. All right.
How
Yo, what
long
up,
do
King?
you,
What's up, Brody?
how long do you typically wait before dating after a breakup, I believe it was?
Yeah. What's
Awesome.
up, Bill?
Thank you.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank
Shout
you,
out to
guys.
everyone that pulled up as well. You want me to jump into it? Big
Yeah, I
Country?
want to answer that question.
All
I'm
right,
gonna start
awesome.
with you,
Yeah,
Ace,
so
and then JT.
okay, yeah. So I mean, you know, if I were to say something, it would be wrong because I've jumped right into things right after, and they typically go terribly bad. So I would say that that's probably not the way. I don't think there is a appropriate amount of time. It all depends. It's situational based. You know what I mean? So if you're in a relationship that ended in a poor manner, then it's gonna leave some trauma. It's gonna leave some effect on you, and that's gonna take time.
That's what you call an audible.
You know, it's going to take time in order to get past that and move on. But then there's also the you know, the relationships that end on a note where you feel like it was already done a long time ago and you're ready to move on right away. So for me, I think it's situational based. Absolutely.
Okay.
So I don't know how long the typical time would be that's appropriate, but
Thank you.
I've definitely done it wrong, if that makes any sense.
No. It's no wrong answer, man, because everybody have their own opinion when they should jump into things, man. So I want to announce real quick, y'all, we have two amazing people in my stream as a guest. We got Ace Marshall, and we have JT, y'all. I appreciate you guys being here because it takes a lot for a man to come up and talk about some things, right? So I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you guys so much. Now, I just want to say, like, for everybody want to know, if you guys have a topic or something that you want to talk about, appreciate you. Whoever my #1 gifter is of the show will give us a topic for next week. And if you guys can give us a topic, give us something to make us think a little bit. You know what I mean? It's no wrong way, no wrong answer, no wrong topic to talk about. Some I'm a little more interested in others, but I got to give a shout out to the admins because they come up with these questions. And then we have to sit here and go around like these questions will get really hard, man. So it's a lot of work behind that, man. So big shout out to the admins, man. But JT, the question, how long you think, does it take, before a person, what's up there, Shot, to move in?
I think it depends. It depends on your relationship. It depends on that foundation. If you have no foundation, then nothing's gonna work. You know, I mean, I've had many relationships where I moved in, haven't moved in. I even raised a kid from 1 to 3 years old. You know, I've never lied or cheated on anyone as far as, when I'm going to progress as far as a relationship. Now, I'm not going to say that I haven't made my mistakes. I'm not going to say that, I haven't been there or done that as far as, jump the gun. But I've always come out honest in the end. I've always tried to make it work. I always try to build a foundation. It's hard these days to date, but I feel, again, as Ace said prior, it depends, but just in general, as long as you have that foundation, I feel like, anywhere from, 6 months on, it just all depends. Like, because some relationships can be love pretty quickly, versus lust or this or that. But predominantly, as long as you have that foundation, it'll go through, You have to know who you are first before you can go forward with loving anyone else. So.
Okay.
Thank you guys.
All right. I got the first question for you guys. Y'all ready? Hey, put a 1 in the comment if you guys ready for these amazing questions. Come from these amazing guests here. Put a 1 in the comment if y'all in the building, man. Make sure y'all hit that like. If you guys new here, hit these two gentlemen with the favorite. Hit myself with the favorite. I see a lot of men in here today. And big shout out to the men, not taking them from the ladies. But it's hard for a man to open up, y'all, to give their raw intensity of what they're talking about. So big shout out to y'all. All right. The question is, what are some signs that you're emotionally ready to start dating again? And they'll put that in the comment. You guys can read it for yourself.
What are some signs that you're emotionally ready to start dating again?
And I start with you, H. I want to start with you first, and then Mr. JT.
Sure. Yeah, so I think some of the major signs are you still thinking about the ex? Like, are you still thinking about that past relationship? Is that still a daily thought of yours? Obviously, that's something that if it's still on your mind, if you're still going through those thoughts, are you really ready? Have you really moved on from that? Are you ready for something new? And that also can mean though that you're just reminiscing on the past and trying to learn from it and think about what's coming in the future. You know, so what you're trying to fix and what you're trying to correct. So it's a tough line there. I'm going to look back at the full question again there. What are some of the signs? Yeah, so some of the other signs I would say are you out of the house? Have you like had for me, I know I get depressed after a breakup. You know, they've all been tough. I haven't been in many relationships in my life over the whole span of being, you know, active in dating and whatnot. But it's definitely been something that I would say is something you want to focus on. What are those things that are going to make you happy, right? Are you ready to be happy with yourself? That's when you're ready to start dating again.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So you can't truthfully be ready to take on someone else's whole life and add it to yours when you're not ready to fully experience what yourself is going through yet. You know what I mean? So you got to be ready to take on someone else as well.
Okay. What about you, JT?
I feel like it's not just about, you know, thinking about your exes or things of that nature. I feel even if you haven't thought about your exes, say you haven't been in a relationship for a few years, right? Or say that you are still in not even situational. So it could be anything. It could be situational. It could be, you know, say you're not in the best mindset for work. You're not in the best mindset for where you are in your life. Say that you are, I'm just going to throw this out there. Say that you are emotional in a lot of ways, like you're jealous. You easily get jealous of all situations. You are not financially stable. You find yourself having a lot of anger toward people, resentment, this and that and the other. You have to make sure that all of your emotions are equipped before you could even start dating. Because again, if you can't love yourself, then you can't love somebody else. You can't give love to somebody else if you're emotionally unstable. And if you're emotionally stable, like you know that you have all of your ducks in a row, you know that you're there for yourself, you are completely, again, this goes back to foundation, you are completely stable with who you are as a person, and you're stable with all of your foundations as far as where you're at, stability for not just emotions, but where you're at in life to provide, then I think that then you'd be ready to date. Because if you can't do all these things for yourself, how can you do for somebody else? You know?
Okay. I'm gonna pick it back off that. I would say this though, like, if number one, like if you still got to pass breakup. But if you don't unpack your bags from your last relationship, stay single, right? Like you have to stay single. Like you have to be ready to move forward because you had a breakup at some point. But even though you still have your ducks in a row, because all that comes into play, right? So at the end of the day, like when I date somebody, I can't bring what I was my past to the new relationship. Now I will say, you know, if you don't talk about your past trauma, your relationship gonna go through hell. You still gotta talk about it. Like you have to. There's no way around that. You have to talk about it. But I agree with both of you guys, man. Like for us being ready, you know, for us emotional ready, like for us like mental, physical, job, whatever. Like because you don't want to go to the place not having a job. A woman like I don't want no man with no job. You know, I get it. You know what I mean? Because you know they don't want to play that role. I understand. So I mean, it's both good answers to that question, man. Relationship to me, like when it comes to a sign of having relationships, man, number one, you got to be okay moving on from your past. Because my question, I have a question, and I'm gonna leave you guys with this question at the end of the show. But it's a definite question I've been talking about that will leave everybody wondering why. And this is strictly for the men. This is meant for the men. So I've been saving this question for later. But my third question is: so what are some expectations for dating after a breakup? Ace.
Sorry, can you repeat that? What are the expectations?
Yes.
Say that again. Sorry, say it one more time for me.
What are some expectations for dating after a breakup?
I mean, it's a tough thing. I mean, I'm in that position where I've gone through a breakup in the last year, two actually, one small one, one big one, and you know, I don't know if there really is like a defined time that's appropriate to be ready to move on, a defined time that's appropriate to say like, you know, I'm past that. It's time. It's been enough. It's been enough distance from the last one. I've moved on. I've got new people in my mind. I'm talking to new people. That person's not a part of my life. Like, I don't know if that doesn't mean that you've lost love for them. It doesn't mean that you've moved on from those feelings, but you could have moved on from a relationship and still have care for the people as well, right?
Okay. What you think, JT?
I think that some expectations to have when you're moving on after a breakup are just the fact that, you know, you need to understand, yes, you still have love for that person, but to also, again, as we talked about, take your time. I think that if you are going to move on with someone new after you've already moved on from that last relationship, then as we said, make sure that you're clear with yourself, as you're clear with the baggage from that person, that person, if they are still in your life, because 9 times out of 10 from what I've seen, usually that's not the case, but if they are, to make sure that they're still good with you moving forward, you know, that you guys' friendship is still stable, this and that and the other, because you don't want that leaning on your friendship that you have with that person if you are moving forward. And if you are moving forward with someone new, that person knows that your stability, you know, with your emotions are ready, that you're emotionally available, as we talked about, that, you know, it's been enough time, because I know people, plenty of people that just jump from girl to girl to girl to girl as far as men, you know, and that's not, in my opinion, humbly, I don't think that's good. You know, like, I understand if you get done with a breakup and you're emotionally stable with yourself and you want to have fun, that's one thing. But if you're actually going into a relationship, I feel like you need to take that time, because if you're just jumping from woman to woman, you're never going to heal. And, you know, again, I see that more time again, especially on this app. And I try to give people advice, just like try to get advice from other people when I go through a breakup. You know, you just have to make sure that everyone is on the same page, and especially yourself. So.
Good question, man. Good answer.
I think it changes as well. Just to jump in there as well. I agree with JT, but I think it changes too if there's kids involved, right? And if there was a ring on the finger and that type of stuff as well. You know what I mean? So as soon as you have someone that's married, now there's a house involved and you got assets and you got all that type of stuff. If there's kids as well, that changes the whole dynamic of things, right? If there's kids, if it's your kids, if it's not your kids, like there's all that kind of stuff that you have to play a big factor in.
And again, and then you have to take your time, as I said. You know, you really have to feel that out. Take your time, make sure all your ducks are in a row before you try to date someone else. Because if you try to date someone else too soon with that involved, speaking of someone that's raised several kids, you know, and they weren't mine, but I was also engaged to a few, you know, it is hard, you know, because if you are emotionally invested, you are financially invested, this, that, and the other, and you have to make sure that your ducks are in a row before you try to move on with someone else. Or if there is a love interest, you know, you have to make sure that everything is in place, because you never know. I've been taking care of kids after I've moved on from the breakup, you know, and there was someone involved, but I made sure that I took that time. I spent a year making sure that kid was good, you know, even after the fact, you know, which I've never admitted on this thing, but, you know, it's hard, you know, and
it go, you know, and I'm gonna speak for this, man. Like, I've been in a situation after a breakup, when and I really have a breakup when you start dating somebody, man, and if kids involved, like, I think a lot of them use the kids against you. You can't see your child because you're dating somebody else. So, you know what I mean? Like, you know, as far as expectation goes, man, like, you know, you got some of those people that's gonna try to drag you down. Because I've been in that situation. You know what I mean? Like, for a second, I'm a father of 5 and I adopted 2. You know what I mean? Total 7. So, but my ex told me that I can't see my child because I was dating someone. You know what I mean? So, like, they'll use that as a leverage, man. You know what I mean? Like, you know, as far as that goes, man. But the expectation for me, man, is for me is healing. For healing is like my ex just heal for both sides of the spectrum, man. Like, I can't be good to you if I'm not properly healed correctly. You know what I mean? Because you can put a Band-Aid over a cut, but if it ain't properly healed, man, it can easily be wounded. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be properly healed. You know, so time wise, like, you know, it's not an overnight thing, it's over time. You know what I mean? So like, I just think that especially when it comes to kids, man, because I think when a man locked into a child, it's different. You know what I mean? Because I fell in love with a little girl that wasn't even mine. You know what I mean? I've been raising her since she was born. Found out she wasn't mine. You know what I mean? But the same little girl that wasn't mine, I found out when she wasn't born. I mean, she wasn't mine after she was born. I still took the initiative to take care of her. But when I started dating somebody, kept it away from me. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy how it works, but it takes a lot of healing, man, and just a lot of patience. You know what I mean? But I do encourage men, though, man, to don't be so prideful, man, because we got to talk about our problems. Like what we keep on the inside hurts us even more, man. You know what I mean? Like, I just think that he said 6 minute reflection will solve all things. 6 minutes, it's good. But people don't leave when things get hard. I think when as far as the breakup goes, you leave when getting disrespectful. Like I'd rather just leave and you know what I mean? Like I don't want to sit in there and just have to deal with it. You know what I mean? But I'm hurting myself or hurting the child or you know what I mean? Whatever the kid's situation, like JT said, if it's a child involved, sometimes y'all believe it or not, an absent relationship is better than a toxic one. I ain't gonna say sometimes, it's all the time. You know what I mean? It's better than a toxic relationship, man. So I'd rather be absent in a situation. But that was some good answers, y'all. Welcome to Men Take a Seat, y'all. We have Ace Marsh in the building, y'all. And we got JT. Please hit these gentlemen with the favorite if y'all haven't. Okay? You know what I'm saying? You're about 30 minutes too late, but you're here now. Go ahead and with the favorite right now if y'all haven't, y'all. And listen, just to let you guys know, if whoever my number one gift of the show will give us the next week's topic. Okay? So just be on aware of that, y'all. If y'all have something you want to talk about, do what you need to do to make that topic possible, okay? So question number 4, it said, how soon should co-parents communicate about their new partner? That is a good question. Woo! That's a good one.
Ooh, that's a tough one for me if I'm going to start. JT, do you want to take this one first?
Yeah, I don't mind. So
All right,
I think that if you're going to co-parent, speaking from someone that doesn't have his own kid, but has raised that 1-year-old to 3 years old and still took care of the kid after, technically speaking, to even co-parent or pay for a child in general and be there regardless. And speaking from someone who's had divorced parents and such, I think that communication works best right away, because the longer you wait, the more damage you can do to that child, the more trauma you're going to put on that child, the more damage not only to the child's emotional status, but to your own as well, because of the fact that not only that bond between your child and you, but also the bond between that partner as a mother or as a father, depending on your situation, toward that child as well, emotionally speaking. I feel right away, again, communication is always key with any type of relationship, friendship, being married, anything in general. Communication is always, always key. If you don't have communication, then you don't have anything.
Awesome. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that was a tough one for me to listen. Thanks for going first, JT. For me, it's a tricky answer because I don't have children. I'm looking to, hopefully one day get to that point. I've waited my whole life and held off with some of my past partners because I wanted it to be the right person. So definitely getting some baby fever as I get a little older in my years. But for me, just looking at the situation, I think if I was to speak on it.
Hold on, I got a question for you then, JT. Have you ever been with somebody had children, but it took you a while before you actually said, so let's use that scenario. Like you've been with somebody you met that had children already. How long did it take you before you actually saw the child based off your experience?
So you're saying how long did it take me to see the child after the breakup?
The child that the girl you was dating.
Even though it wasn't my kid, right?
Yeah, no, it wasn't yours. She has a child, right? But you start dating her. How long did it take you before she allowed you to see her child?
Honestly,
I'm sorry, not JT. I'm sorry. Hey, you already answered. I mean Ace. Ace, how long?
No problem. Can you repeat it again? Sorry, you were asking.
I said, how long when you met someone that you have been with somebody that had children?
Yes, I have. Yes.
How long did it take for she allow you to see her child? Yeah.
So I've been with two different women throughout my life that have had children. One for a very short amount of time, and then one in my past for a long period. And the one I did meet and the one I didn't. So I can't speak on the one, but the one relationship I was in, she introduced me to her child before actually we started dating, because of the relationship started off as a friendship. So that child was there as her kid, but I was just a friend of the group, and it just happened organically. But for me, I think, just to go back to the main question, I think to tell the other parent, the co-parents, would be an appropriate time is when you're introducing, or you're thinking about introducing the kid to that new partner. I think at that point is when it's appropriate, because now you're allowing that person's child to meet a new person, right? So at that point, that's the most appropriate time to allow them, hey, our son or our daughter is going to be meeting, this new partner of mine.
I would say it's different between male and female, because men are the alphas, right? They protect. So women are very cautious when it comes to introducing a male into a child's life, right? Because a woman think, I don't want every other man, I don't want to keep introducing men that don't work out. That's how I always get there all the time. I don't want to constantly introduce another man if the relationship don't work out, right? So when it comes to for a new partner, the question, how long? So women are very, very, very stagnant when it comes to that. But men, even though you got your new partner, but you know what I'm saying, you the protector though, right? So you can do it, but women are cautious, because today's man, you don't know. I mean, people, these men these days doing crazy stuff to these women on the internet. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So like, I just think that it's a little different when it comes to like how long does it take, because if for somebody that I like, now when a man actually likes someone, want to pursue, it takes a lot for a man to actually get into it. A woman, because a woman is a more emotional creature, it's a little easier, right? Mm-hmm. So now when introduced to somebody like, oh man, I like this person. I feel like men don't think the way as much as women do, because women be with somebody don't work out, get introduced, and then women be like, children be like them, they come from this person to call them stepdad to daddy, and and women don't want that, because it mentally affects the child.
It does, for sure. It affects everyone in the relationship, not just the child too, right?
But I'm saying the woman protecting herself, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about it mentally affects the child, because the child get hurt. Remember, kids are sponges; they suck up everything, right? So now it comes when a male does it, it's a little different, and that's just my opinion, y'all. I just think that it's two different perspectives. I don't know. When it comes to internet, you really don't meet nobody right away. They're in a different state. You take a couple months. You know what I mean? Like, take a couple months before you meet them. And then you start doing video chatting, and you just constantly ease your way in there with video chat. And then when it comes down to it, like, it been time I met somebody 6 months, 7 months. Right. You know what I mean? Yep. Based off, because the way the world is now, we meet a lot of people on social media.
It's tough too, because people can hide behind the screen and be someone they're not. 100%. And when you meet them in person, you see a different side of them, right?
Absolutely. I agree. Welcome, y'all. Appreciate y'all. These are some good questions, man. Y'all put together. Lord have mercy. It said, how important is it to say I love you in a relationship, and when it's too soon or too late?
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, love is a powerful word. It's a powerful word, but it could also mean many things. It could be used in many contexts. But if you're really meaning it with your partner, like, you gotta use it when you mean it. Like, at the end of the day, there is no right time, and not one person, especially someone that's not involved with your relationship, should be able to tell you that there's a right and wrong time to do so. If you feel something, you feel something. Only you will know that. But there can be false feelings of love. I think there can be, early emotion, I call it, like early excitement. It's like that stage where you're excited about everything because it's new, it's awesome. You guys just met each other, so you think it's love, but it's lust, and it's excitement of new things, and it's partnership. It's just having that person around that's there, and you're both trying to make it work. You're both trying to win each other over. So you're acting in a different sense because you're not that you're being false to each other. You're putting extra effort in to try to impress the other person. You know what I mean? Instead of, you know, sitting back and really looking at everything. So it's a tricky situation there. It really is. Love can come at any time. Do I think that question correlates with love at first sight? I think that's a whole different question. Just for myself, just to speak on that. But yeah.
Okay. All right. What about you, JT?
I think the same thing, kind of piggybacking off of that. Love at first sight is a different scenario. As far as saying I love you, I think that there are different forms of I love you. Like if I'm gonna say I love you to a partner, then I'll say like I love you as a person. You know, I'll explain my demeanor. I'll explain how I mean something with my mannerisms, as well as my my grammatical literature of what I put out there. Because I think if I'm going to get articulate with love with somebody, then I'll say, I love you. I love you as a person. I love how you present yourself. I love what you do with your kid or what you do with others. But I'm not in love with you. You know, I love spending time with you. You know, I make it very predominantly clear. I make it not absent-minded. I make it full-hearted when I'm telling somebody how I feel. And then when I'm in love with somebody, then I tell that woman, I'm like, I'm in love with you now. I feel that I can open up completely and fully to you, open my heart to you, open my position of where I am to be emotionally vulnerable with you fully and freely. And I feel there is no right or wrong time. If you feel it after a certain amount of time, I feel that for me personally, patience and time put between us, as far as at least more than 6 months to about a year maybe is a good time, maybe even longer. It just depends on the relationship, you know, but that's how I would present it.
Okay. So here's where I had this topic early. Wasn't even the topic, was you brought up. So it's different types of love, y'all. You got a storge, you got familial, you got agape. It's so many different type of love that varies between. You can't love your wife or your girlfriend or boyfriend the way you love your mother, right? So what really bothers me, because if you guys understand, come to my stream, I tell everybody I love them. They used to listen, mostly females, it say, I don't feel special because you tell everybody you love them. I absolutely do. Jesus did. You know what I mean? It says, love thy brother and thy sister as Christ loved the church. Absolutely. But when they tell me I don't feel special, we're not even at to that level yet. Now, when you got agape, now when you really love someone, this is how you know you really truly love someone. 2 ways. You love them is when you feel safe. When that person can feel truly safe with you, they love you. Number 2.
Yep.
If it hurts you more than it hurt them if you did something wrong. If it really hurts you more. If you did something wrong, it hurts you more than it hurt them. That's how you know you love them. Love is a sacrifice, y'all. You're going to sacrifice. If you really love somebody, you're going to sacrifice. It's some things that's just how it is. Like, but that's the type of love go deeper than your mother and your best friend. You can't love your best friend the way you would love your partner. You get what I mean? It's different. But what really gets me though, people have a problem using that word, but they don't have a problem using the word hate. They use hate with no problem. I hate you. I hate you. But you know, in love, I don't love you though, but you all right. I got love. But you tell a person hate so fast, you know what I mean? Like, it just that gets me. But when you truly love someone, is when you feel safe. When you truly feel safe. And there's no timeline. There's no timeline. And even with JT said, it could take 6 months, a year, 7 months, or, you know. But men find it a lot harder to tell a person I love you first than a woman would. That's just my opinion. Am I wrong, fellas? Can I be right? I mean, y'all agree to disagree?
I agree with you for sure. Absolutely. But I think it's situational based. Everything is with love, but you're right. I mean,
but make sure it makes it easier because of pride. Our pride gets in the way.
Mm-hmm. It definitely makes it easier though to let that word come out when someone else says it first.
Yes. And I think a person will love you or say they love you just as much as they can use you. And let that sizzle in your spirit. They would tell you I love you just as much as they can use you. I love you, you know what I mean? Like just as much as they can use you, they're gonna say it. But like you gotta decipher which one is genuine, right? So good job, man. I appreciate you guys being here. We got Ace Marsh in the building. We got JT. Welcome to Men Take a Seat. How many men we got in the building? Put a 1 in the comment. All these men in here. Let's see some men in the building. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. All right, listen, I'm gonna make the executive decision, man. Look, I see y'all next week. Abby's gonna hook y'all up because y'all gonna be on the show one of these days. All right? Okay, fellas? All right. Here we go for the next question, y'all. The next question is this: what are your thoughts on co-parenting with a partner who is not their biological parent? JT spoke on that earlier because he said he took care of a child that's not his, so he don't have none of these guys don't have kids. So this is pretty good.
Ooh, that's a tricky one. So basically, they would be they're bringing up that kid, but it's not their blood kid.
Not biologically, not yours, but you and you know what I'm saying.
For me, okay, if I'm with that person, but bringing them up.
I'm gonna read it. Said, what are your thoughts on co-parenting with a partner who is not is not the biological parent? If you're not the biological child, she has a child, and you're in their life.
Right. Yeah. So being like a stepfather in a sense, right?
Correct.
Okay. Awesome. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely being a single man with no children at the age of 32, turning 33. Definitely something that I encounter when I'm out there if I'm actively dating, because you know a lot of people as they get older and women and men start having children, right? And it's just a natural way of life. So at my age now, I run into women with children already from previous relationships quite often, and it's something that you know I'm open to. It definitely brings in different situations that you have to face. There's other aspects of that relationship that now you know become a play that normally wouldn't be there if that person didn't have children or didn't have that past you know, I don't want to call it baggage, but you know, past life that they had something with that created life that they now have. But you have to be able to take on not only just that child, but you have to take on the other side of that family too, because that child still got their other side, their father and so on and so forth, right? So you're not just taking on what comes with the kid, it comes with the past relationship too, because they're going to still be in the life usually if that's the case. So it's tough, but I'm there for it. It just takes a different kind of approach to the relationship, really, is what it is. You know, you have to act differently if you're two single people with no kids compared to if you're you know, just meeting, compared to if you're two single people, one's a parent and one's not. Like it's a different approach you got to come at that relationship.
Okay, JT.
I think that if you're gonna, like he said, to piggyback, love to everything. And as far as co-parenting, I feel like if you're gonna co-parent or raise a kid that isn't yours, then you go all in. Like I don't think that there's any half trying or say that you're gonna try. There's no try. There's only do. You put your all in it or you don't, especially when it comes to a kid. Like I'm not gonna put on here how much I've spent, but I've spent hours. I worked 4 or 5 jobs. I spent every paycheck, every waking moment. I looked for babysitters, this and that and the other. I found every avenue to take care of her, and I did until I couldn't. You know.
Amen. I listen, y'all. And they also based on the parent. You may meet a woman with some baby kid. Them kids may be bad as heck. Now you got to put up with patience, boy. I be seeing them kids like, hey, how you let your child do that? You know what I mean? Like,
no,
man.
No for me, dog. That's a no for me, dog. It takes
a whole lot of going through some trials and tribulations, man. You know what I mean? Because here's the thing. Like, I struggle with parents that appreciate it, like, allow their kids to curse. Like, I really struggle with that. I'm from the South, man. My mom slapping me in my mouth, you curse. But I see some parents let kids get it up, you know what I'm saying? But I can't, like, that is like that's a no-go for me. Like, I can't do it. That's just me. I can't, like, you know, hey, I can't do it. But it's based off, you know, parents or what type of child, how they was raised. And I'm not going to come in and step in and tell a person how you should raise your child. It's not my job. My job is just take some of the weight off your shoulders. You know what I mean? Just be there for you as like you said, it come as a package. You accept my child, accept me, you you got to accept my child as well. You know, it's either you do or you don't. You know what I mean? But that's just some of the things that it takes a lot. You know what I mean? Because when you mostly walk into a relationship, you hardly see men, a woman walk in a man's relationship that a full-time dad. You have some of those, right? So, and then and vice versa. You know what I mean? So it takes a lot of patience, man. It takes a lot of patience. It take a lot, because I've been with somebody, man. Man, look, I ain't even want to sleep here. My eye was open. That kid was so bad. Hey, I don't know what that boy gonna do. You know what I mean? So, but it takes patience though, man. It takes a lot of patience when it comes to parents. But here's the beautiful thing about it. For the guys that don't have no children, right? You learn a lot from a child. You learn to love, like a child and a parent, they filled with so much love, man. You learn so much. Having a child that can love, a child that you never had is like prep before you get your child. You know, like, you know, you prepping, you know what I mean? So you'll get a chance to learn so much. And I met somebody like, I'm still part of that child's life today. And you know, and it hurts me more because we separated. I didn't want to be away from them, because you built that bond with them. Like JT said, like, you spend every moment making out with it. You'll sacrifice everything you got for a child that's not yours, right? So that is a blessing as well. So big shout out to the single fathers. Big shout out to the father that stepped up to the plate that's not a father yet and decided to do father duties. You know what I mean? So big shout outs to y'all, man. I'm gonna go back to 6. It says, what are some of your expectations for living together?
What are some of your expectations for living together? Well, I can speak on that because I've definitely lived with my ex-fiance. I lived with her for almost 8 years. Okay. So at the start, it was tricky, definitely. It was all about getting to understand how to, you know, really know what gets on each other's nerves. But before that, there was expectations set before we decided to really sign the lease together and make that move in together. And, you know, it was about setting your ground rules and boundaries and having those boundaries. Boundaries are very important. I think boundaries are the most important in any relationship, whether it's a friendship, a relationship, like, you know, a marriage, whatever the case, or even a boundary between a father and a son, you know what I mean, type deal. So it's important. So setting boundaries was very, very, very crucial for us, and it worked. You know, we didn't split and go our separate ways because we couldn't live together. We definitely could live together, and over time, you figure out what you do and don't when someone's there and not there to make sure that they're happy, right? And that's all it is. It's about working side by side to have an all-end goal that's the same goal, right? So for me, there's no too soon or too late to move in with someone. But I think that if you can set the appropriate boundaries and that you can openly discuss those boundaries and remember them as you move in together and stick to them, then there's no right or wrong answer to it.
Okay, that's a good answer, man.
I think that as far as moving in together, I think that and living together, I think he's right as far as boundaries. Definitely has to be boundaries set as far as, you know, what you like and what the other person doesn't like, as far as, you know, your irritations, your likes, your dislikes, your shortcomings, your emotional time invested not only in each other, but that you need for yourself to, you know, not only co-parent, but as well, if in general, if there's no kid involved, then to have for yourself, so that way you don't explode. Say that person is there for you and they can be your rock and they can emotionally help de-stress you, but at the same time, you need other outlets. You know, you need your boys, or you need God, or you need, you know, to go and walk about on nature, or just something that is some things that are foundations and outlets for you that are separate from your relationship. As far as expectations that do work together, I think that you should expect, again, communication, that there's a clear line of what to do, what not to do, not only emotionally invested, but as far as financially, as far as, you know, who cleans the house, who doesn't clean the house, what rules can we make to make this better, more coexistent for both of us, you know, to work together as a team. Because if you have no foundation, if you have no hold, then it's not going to work.
Amen. That's good answer, y'all. So I'm gonna shake the room a little bit. Let me shake this room a little bit, man. Number one, this is based off experience. One, I'm gonna answer that question, man. My expectation living with each other. Number one, can you live with somebody that are actually even getting them to that point, be with somebody that don't expect, don't want marriage?
Yes, I can. Marriage is something that I was very close to doing, paid for it. It was all planned, paid for, ready to go a month before. We decided not to do it. What I told myself after that, going through my depressive stage after and being alone and dealing with the emotions of all that, of everything that came with it, that I would never get married again. 2 years later, I'm sitting here now. If a woman really wanted to get married, would I do it for her? Absolutely. Because, you know, at the end of the day, you want to make your person happy. And if that's what they truly want, then you do that for them. And that's, at the end of the day, it shouldn't be a big deal. You know, it shouldn't be a big deal. But how you get married is where it's important that you guys work together. So it's not about getting married. It's about how you get married. It's not, you know, it's not about saying what you're going to do. It's about how you do it always with a relationship. You know, it's the actions. It's always the actions.
Okay. What about you, JT? And it's a very important question. So go ahead, JT.
I think that it depends. I think that I definitely would love marriage if it happens. I say if in the sense of, because if God wants something to happen, it's going to happen, right? But am I open to marriage? Yes. Am I open to the fact if I don't get married, then yes. Like if I end up being with somebody that is special enough that she wants it, absolutely. I think marriage is a very fine thing that is passionate between two lovers, that is really angelic. It's really crucial of making sure that you know that you guys know who each other are, that passion is there, that ability to trust is there.
I have to agree, man. Like where I'm at in my life, right? So where in my life, if I just slowly moved in with someone or whatever the case may be, I can't stay there if I know I'm not gonna get married. Like marriage I have to get married. Like I was engaged with my ex, it didn't work out, thank you Jesus. But marriage is so important to me because it's biblical written. You know what I mean? That's what God wants. So like having somebody say I don't want to never get married, me personally, I wouldn't even waste your time. I mean, I'm just where I'm at, the level I'm at in my life. Like me talking to somebody say, if meeting them say I never want to, I don't think marriage is a bunch of piece of paper. No, if you really go deeper than that, that is what God wants, right? So that is number one. Number two, being with someone, would you share the same bank account? Will y'all do a joint account together?
That's where things get a little tricky. So for my past, so I can only speak on my past. The future, you never know what kind of situation you're going to be with your future person. It could be so different that it makes sense and it doesn't. Like, again, everything is so situational based. But my past, I'll speak to my past. I have what we've done that we made it work because we tried it. We tried it once really early on in our relationship where we shared everything and that did not work.
Okay.
One person was spending more than the other. One person was making more than the other. Then things get tricky. It was just a mess. Why'd you do this? It was very nitpicky and it made the relationship toxic. Once we separated that, we kept our combined account just strictly for extra money, vacations, going to the movies, date nights, things like that. We shared that account. And then the standard stuff that we paid our bills, we put into that as well. And the rest of it, that was ours. You do what you want. I ain't gonna ask questions. We don't see it. You make your bread, you earn it, you go have fun with it. So we kind of made that middle ground where we had a shared account, but we also had our own. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So balance, right?
Yeah, that cause we're living with each other. So that's why I asked that question. What do you think, JT?
I was going to speak on that, speaking from a guy that's been engaged, also raised kids, and the one in particular more than the others. Because again, it depends on the relationship and the situation. But I would say from my past experience that I've had what Ace has had, where there was just too much, spending here or there. And then future, when I had one that was before I started stream, I made sure that there was a shared one, but that we both had our own separate. And for me, separate, I have several accounts separate and several cards just in case of emergencies or this and that and the other. Case if that shared account is overspent or anything and she spends all of hers, then I'm always having cash on hand or extra money in the banks, on different cards or different accounts. Because it's just, you never know. And it's really hard these days, much like, being able to, enjoy what you do. As you said, outlets. Enjoy this. This is very enlightening. So thank you for having me.
That's it. That's a very good. I was with someone that we shared the bank account. So here's the pros and cons. I agree with you guys on that because so you spend, you start spending money and then you can get into that. But the pros is it taught me not to spend that much money.
Well, yeah.
Because
Because you're gonna get the.
What I'm saying is she see everything, right? So it taught me a good lesson, man. I'm no more video games. Ain't none of that buying that stuff that doesn't make sense. Like
No more extra chocolate bars when you go to the store.
It
None of
slowed me
that.
down a
None of
little
that.
bit. You know what I mean? And
None of
it worked for me. Like it really worked. Like I mean, me sharing the bank account. Let me tell you something. I'm from the South, so like when I get my check, my direct deposit, she see everything. But she didn't question me like where you spending money from and nothing like that. But it slowed me down because she took care of all the bills, make sure all the stuff was straight. You know what I mean? Like she made it a priority. No matter what we do first, that bill got to be taken care of. That you can't do nothing. You know what I mean? Because it goes into the account. But it really humbled me though. It really like I couldn't spend the money like I used to splurge. I used to splurge on dumb stuff, right?
I mean,
now she see my bank account. Excuse me. Hey, look, what's this? What's this? What is these red bottoms of $2,000? What you buying some shoes for? Does it walk itself? Absolutely not. Does it talk to you when you get in an argument? Like, nah, it really slowed me down. So it is pros and cons of that, man, because I seen people get into it like, you spending too much money. And how about we separate the account a little bit? You know what I mean? Like, I want to buy me some Jordans or I want to buy a game. But at the same time, you make sure everything, like you said, your stuff was taken care of first. But it did slow me down. I ain't gonna lie, it slowed me all the way down. I stopped spending money. I was eating Roman noodles for a while, let alone I ain't trying to spend no money.
We all been there, man. We all been there.
Yeah, welcome to Me and Take a Seat, y'all. I got two amazing men in the box. Hey, first of all, y'all look fly. Y'all got to look fly, okay? I don't know if you guys single, but they single, y'all. I'm gonna just tell you right now, okay? Look, Ace Marsh in the building, top badge. We got JT in the building, man. Thank you for Men Take a Seat. Just to let you guys know right now, we have 13 minutes left. Whoever my top gift is of the stream, you give us a topic, okay? Right now, Ted is, I think Ted is number one at the moment, and he's not even here yet. I mean, he left a long time ago in the beginning. So here's the next question. It says, what are some potential benefits of moving in with a partner? You save money.
Potential benefits of moving. Well, I mean, everyone knows it right away. There's that financial freedom like that comes with it. Like when two is better than one. That's what you say, and that's the truth behind it. Your bills get cut in half, respectfully. I mean, they should, unless you're moving in with the wrong person. I don't know what you're doing, but if you got the right person, if you a hustler and you like, you a little bit of a gold digger, then you ain't got no bills. But we ain't saying that. It should be equal. I agree with equality, but hey, y'all got different stories. I ain't trying to intrude on them. You know what I mean?
What about you, Jay?
I second that. I think that financially, as well as you have someone that can pick up the slack. Again, as far as cooking, cleaning, etc. It just all depends. There's a lot of benefits to a lot of things. Everything should be equal. Like I said, communication is key with everything. I think that if you don't have that, again, everyone has different stories, as they said, but I think that there's benefits to all of that. I think that there's also benefits to the sense of you're not as lonely anymore. Like say that that part majorly, because God wanted you to have that in your life. He wanted you to have that emotional stability too. So that's very beneficial, is that you get to see them all the time, because now you live with them versus having to go visit them every now and then or all the time. You actually get to see them 24/7.
I have to agree with both of you guys, man. I'm gonna have to go with to me, not just because you taking care of yourself. You living comfortable living by yourself anyway. But one of the most main benefits is you're not by yourself. You know what I mean? Like I enjoy cooking. If anybody know me, I enjoy cooking. But I don't eat if I'm by myself. Most men don't. We'll put up a ham sandwich real quick, boy.
Oh, man.
I throw a ham sandwich together and we scrape. You know what I mean?
I did one of those right before this show. What you mean?
See, you know what I mean? But if you have a person with you, you have a person with you, you're gonna cook a meal. I already say you can live in a house, you live in a house, apartment, a townhome, You can't call it a townhouse, but you cannot call it a home until you put a woman in it. If you give a woman some groceries, she's gonna give you a meal. That become whole. Like, you can live by yourself, but when you put a woman in the house, it become whole. You know what I mean? Become a meal, not just cooking for yourself no more. You got a reason to cook. You got a reason to do these things. Like, I ain't got no reason to cook now. You asking what I ate today.
I'm not gonna lie to you. The biggest thing I see down there is cuddles. Like, all the ladies be saying cuddles, 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 cuddles. You know, so I'm just gonna throw in there. You know what's a really good benefit is cuddles. Okay, cuddles.
That's a good one. You did good though, Ace. You did good. You did good. You did good. But no, so benefits having a woman now, and let me tell you something. Having the right woman there in your house, man. You know what I mean? You learn a lot. Because remember, me and the alphas, right? We just built different. So you learn that soft side. And look, when men feel like they're too hard to crack the surface, women want the sexiest thing to a woman when she crack the surface, when you open up to a woman, you know what I mean? Like, when you literally like show your side, it doesn't make you weak because you decided to vent to the woman that you love. You say you love her, right? Or doesn't make you soft. Like, she just teach you how to do it correctly. You know what I mean? Like, you just haven't been loved correctly. It's okay to cry. You know what I mean? Or you get that soft side. It doesn't make you weak. You just soften up a little bit. And I think, as me being 45 years young, I cry on Lion King sometimes. Now, I used to be like, I ain't crying for nobody. Next thing you know, you catch one of them sad sob movies, boy.
Listen, man, same thing. I just heard a song in the background. Why do you think the sunglasses went on? I'm like, yeah, make up with tears, man.
But no, I agree with the fellas, man. Like, the benefits of having a woman in the house, man. You learn to nurture correctly. You can cook for somebody. You can do man duties. You know what I mean? Like, you can really do man duties having that partner with you, because you got to make sure your woman good. You better have. You know what I mean? Like, it helps. It helped me. It helped me though. No joke, man. So the next question, y'all, it says, when do you believe it's accepted to discuss future plans like marriage in a relationship? When you feel it? I don't know.
I mean, I'll be honest. I don't know when there's a right or wrong time. Like,
what's up, son?
It's got to be when you feel it, but it's a conversation. It's not like, I don't like, there's people that, this is, what, now that I think about it more and more, I'm like changing my head. I'm like this way, that way. But as I think about it, you know what I mean? I've proposed once. Okay. Did I keep my proposal a secret? Yes. And I loved the fact that it was a secret. She was excited, surprised. And that whole thing was amazing. Was it the right time? Supposedly she was waiting 3 years before that. I didn't know, but I thought it was the right time. It was 5 years into our relationship. I thought it was the right time. Did I really know? But is there a right or wrong? Who knows? Did she say yes? Still yes. Like, you know what I mean? Did it work out? No. So who knows what's right or wrong? But at the end of the day, I think it's something that comes up in conversation, because it's a next step of commitment, right? It's that next step. Like, and when you go that, like, you forming that long life bond at that point, you saying, all right, we settling down together. This is it. Like, that's supposed to be the point of marriage. Like, it ain't, maybe we'll divorce. No, it's like, we settling down. This is it for life. So, right. And it's important to be sure that you're doing it with the right person.
Okay.
And I think people rush that. And they rush it because they're excited about the thrill of being married, all the stuff that comes along with the marriage, the planning, the dress, the shoes, the guys, the bachelor party, like the both sides of it, right? And I think at the end of the day, the real thing about marriage that gets misconstrued these days is it's supposed to be about the two people and that day and them and their love and them forming that bond for the rest of their lives, where everyone else worries about what comes along with marriage, all the food and the this and the that and the dramatics that come, and that's not supposed to be the point. It's supposed to be the two people. It's supposed to be simple, and it's supposed to be, a day of blessing their love together and bonding that, right? So, it's all, again, situational based, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I second that completely and full-heartedly. I think it's situational and it all depends, but it should be about simplicity and, the grace of it. If you don't have simplicity and you don't have your basis for the love between you to each other, between the two of you, then it doesn't work. People do get too caught up in the what ifs and being excited as far as, what could happen rather than looking at, again, everything we've already based upon. Like if you have all of those other aspects of all the questions we've already answered nailed down, and you know that it's been enough time and you feel ready, then go for it. If you don't have any of those questions answered and all of those are still ifs or buts, then you're not ready, then it's not a good time to talk about it.
I think that you got to be able to, at the end of the day, can you see yourself spending the rest of your life with that person? Number one, like you got to be able to put up with the good, that rough stuff. You know what I mean? Like you got to be able to, you know what I mean? Like when it comes to that, man, because you're gonna come in some situations that they're gonna test y'all theory of being together. You know what I mean? But with a lot of people, like communication is very important. He said it earlier, but communication is important. But the key to me, when it comes to that, communication is not key to me, but it's very, 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 very important. Comprehension is key, because you could talk to a person all day long. If they ain't picking up what you putting down, it ain't gonna work anyway. Like you got to be able to, you know what I'm saying, comprehend what we talk about. How many of y'all say, you know what, we had this already. I'm tired of going through the same thing over and over again. I'm tired, we talked about it already, but the comprehension part has to be grasped, man. So I just think that you got to be able to put up with each other's highs and lows, man. And to me, like when it comes to that, you got to be able, the woman or the man got to be able to pick up what you can't pick up. Like if I only give you 20% because I don't feel good, I'm gonna give you 100% of my 20%. You got to be able to pick up the 80. Like you're gonna get tested when it comes to like, rough edges. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna be that moment that you really like we have to test each other if they really gonna be together. Because partner is a partnership. You know what I mean? I'm down, you high. You down, I'm high. You know what I mean? So you just don't just back out. You gotta go through the trials and tribulations for that, man. But listen, y'all, we got 4 more minutes, y'all, to name the next top gift of the show. I appreciate you guys for being here. We got Ace March and JT, 2 fabulous men here. Welcome to Men Take a Seat. Fellas, if you guys want to be on the show, we got 2 beautiful admins in here in the comments right now. We would love to have you guys on the show, but whoever the winner is, gonna give us the next week topic. This topic is brought to you by BB Dubs. Thank you, BB Dubs, for this nice topic. I have one more question real quick, y'all. And I'm gonna allow you guys to get in. I'm gonna allow you guys to get in the box. You hold on to your question. If you have a particular question that you want to talk about, jump in the box. If you have a target towards Ace Marsh or question towards JT, jump in the box real quick. Jump in the box real quick. Say the question, get out. Get in the question for about 5 or 10 seconds so you can get your phase up. All right. We're gonna do that in a couple minutes. All right. So the next question: how soon do you think it is appropriate to introduce your partner to a family or friend?
I don't think it's ever too soon. Actually, I personally think, I don't think it's ever too soon. And I personally think that's nowadays with the way the world is, that's actually kind of important. Someone should know what's going on. Respectfully, like there's some dangerous people, especially on apps like this. There's no stopping someone that could be the craziest person in the world being on here, and trying to fool you into dating them. And I'm not trying to scare people, but we should be cautious. And I think having a friend and family member know that you're meeting someone new for the first time, respectfully, that should be an immediate thing you do.
Okay. What you think, JT?
I think it depends. I think that as far as your stability, say like if you're handled and you already have someone watching your back, as far as a friend or a family member, it could even be a really good acquaintance that you have. Like if you know a lot of people, I always tell people on this thing, because they always say, JT, you know how to network, you know how to make friends, this and that. I'm like, if you think I know a lot of people on this, imagine who I know in the real world. Like, not that this is in the real world, but you know what I mean, offline. So I think that it's good, as he said, to always have someone watching your back, but it doesn't necessarily have to be necessarily a friend or a family member. But someone should always be in the know of where you're going, what you're doing, having your back. There's always someone that should have your back no matter what. I do think as far as a relationship, if it's a relationship that that is working out, that someone should know about it as far as your friends or family, because although it's good to have that, as they say, American Rejects, dirty little secret, it's all fun and games, but at the same time, I think if you're emotionally invested, that someone should know, and you can share your person with that other person as far as family member or a close friend.
All right, we got 1 minute left, y'all. Teddy right now is, you know, doing his thing. Big shout out to Teddy, man.
Teddy.
Get in there, brother. Yeah, man. I would say I think when it comes to that though, man, it is hard because your family gonna start asking questions. Where did you meet him? How long did y'all met? What you know about him? You know, my mom be asking questions like a mug, boy. Hey, what you know about my son? What you know about my daughter? And you just met him, be like, you know, what's the favorite color? Big shout out to Teddy, man. Thank you, Teddy. Hey, listen, we're gonna open up the floods right now, y'all. BB does want to got a question for you guys, so we're gonna have her jump in the box. I appreciate you. Thank you, Teddy.
So my question is, when it comes to like, you know, being the co-parent or a parent in a situation, like how do you guys feel if, you know, because sometimes it's usually like one parent has the kid full time, whether it's the dad or the mom, right? And so how do you guys feel about the other parents still being in the situation? Is that something that's like reasonable to ask a man to be able to tolerate the father as far as when it comes to exchange, you know, or is that something that you guys shouldn't have to be involved in as the step-in parent?
So I'm gonna step in on this for a second, if you don't mind me. I had that situation with a 1 to 3 year old, and I allowed the dad in, and we all knew that he only came back because there was someone that actually was stable, that in every situation that actually stepped in and took care of the kid, that actually stepped in the relationship. But I allowed him to, you know, be there for his kid because that's what it's about, or supposedly we thought it was. You know, I'm not opposed to that because I feel that every father or every mother, depending on the situation, you know, should be able to be in the kid's life, you know. You should always make room for that parent to be able to be a part of their kid's life. If you don't, even if they don't step up fully, like, what are you doing? You know, you're denying that person their kid, or you're trying to, you know, obviously it's situational in the sense of if it's a really bad for that kid, then obviously, you know, but that's completely up to your partner and that other set person. But you should allow room.
Parents have a healthy relationship. Is that okay? Like, does that form a warning sign to you if she can co-parent or he can co-parent with the mother or father?
I don't think it's a warning sign if they get along and they can co-parent. You know, I mean, if I'm still in a relationship and they can co-parent, that's good because again, they should be able to take care of the kid, and I should still be able to be there for the kid as well, just in a different sense. You know, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think now if she's cheating on you or there's a whole different scenario, then obviously, you know. But if all three of you can get along, I don't see a problem with it.
Yeah, I think the only time that it's appropriate for that other parent not to be involved is if the relationship was, you know, that they were split up because of that parent doing something dangerous towards the kids, inappropriate in a relationship standing, or to the woman, or in some way, shape, or form. In that sense, at that point, no, that father should not be allowed to come back in. If they were not a good father, you know, maybe there can be a way to like ease it in slowly and allow it. But if that person's been removed from their life for some sort of ill reason, then I don't think that it's appropriate to allow them back in, or at least not with easy grace, you know, by any means. But again, I don't have kids, so I can't speak on it like someone who does. So.
Well, I will say this though.
I co-parent with my kid's dad, but usually when I try to date, they're like, oh, you must still want to sleep with him because you guys can get along. You guys aren't tearing each other's faces off, so you must want to sleep with him still. And it's like, no, we have no intimate feelings towards each other.
I was with, so my son Emil, me and his stepdad, your stepdad, me and his stepdad and I went out together. My son and I, we both went out.
You know what I mean? That's cool that you can do that.
You know what I mean? Because like at the end of the day, I'm not with her. But I notice when a woman is single, a man don't want to step up to the plate. But when she decided to get a man in life, a man want to step up to the plate. The father want to decide, you know what? You know, you don't have my son being around. You wasn't there when I was by myself. You know what I mean? You wasn't around. But when another man stepped up to the plate, you want to get your 2 cents in. You want to say you'll get your input on it. You know what I mean? But me and my son and his dad, we all went out together and had lunch and dinner. We talked, you know what I mean? Like, and then when it comes to giving advice, you know what I mean? I can't overrule him and he won't overrule me. You get what I mean? So that's just more respect. And then at the end of the day, me and the mom had a good relationship. We had a good relationship. Like, you know what I mean? Like we're not together. So if I'm dating her and she with somebody, I think respectful enough. She like, I'm with you. Like you spend time with me. He's just a father. Like, but I think that's being selfish though. Like you don't want me to be with nobody because I'm with someone. But at the same time, like my child's a father.
It isn't. I think Manson said it best right there. You got to do at the end of the day what's best for the child in all aspects. Whatever's best for the children is what should be done.
Can you explain that, Master?
As hard as that may be. In any way, shape, or form, whether it means you got to leave the relationship as much as you might be in love, but it's bad for the child, you got to leave. Like, you got to do what's best for the child.
Like, okay, but what I'm saying is this. If you were the parent that has a child, but the child don't like it for no reason, like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like what about the mother?
So, like I didn't understand.
My son don't even want me to be, he ain't want no mama to be with nobody. You get what I'm saying?
Right. Because what I'm saying is like, if you a solid dude, right, and the stepdad is doing good by him too, then that child benefits by having two men see how they act maturely. They're not fighting. They're not calling each other out. They're not. You know what I'm saying? That's what's best for the child is him seeing that you put your differences aside and y'all can act like men. And
that's what you meant. Okay, yeah, because he was thinking. That's why I said jump in the box because that's what me and Emil's dad did. Like we get along today.
I like
that. Makes your son. That makes your son stronger because now he has two pillars in his life that he can lean on and not feel like, you know,
and he doesn't feel like they're competing. You guys are competing now because now he doesn't see no competition. Like he doesn't gotta go and be like, Dad, this is what he's doing, or Mom, they're not playing sides now because now they see you all as a team. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. And you know what's crazy? And
they feel love.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy? He used to call him Larry before he started calling him Dad. But one day we was out, he said he dad, and both of us look, yes, son. like
and does that bother? Like, that shouldn't bother?
I don't think it should bother. He got two dads in his life.
It will bother some people. There's people that can't take that. They can't
but Ace Marsh, I'll say this and I'll get out the box. But I think that's immaturity on the adult, right? Because I think so too. You have to be able to say, hey, my child's getting double the amount of love. Like
selfishness is what it is.
Yeah, it's selfish. At the end of the day, it's selfish. Like
my kids would go say, I got 2 days.
Block blessings. The word block. Sorry to jump in. I'm gonna say the last thing and I'm done. But you know how everyone says don't block people's blessings. Don't block your blessings. Well, that would be you blocking your child's blessings by not allowing them to have that person.
That part.
If they're a good person, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So don't block your child's blessings. What the hell?
I know some women. I'm gonna use Gopher for example. They go hang out with her ex and her ex-husband, like the baby father. They get along really well. You know what I mean? Like they get along really well. Because she want to see her child. They're over there. They go over there, and you know what I'm saying? Like it takes a lot of strength to do that.
But I'm saying, okay, so if you had a relationship with someone and had a child with them, that's why it's important to not sleep around. But when you trust the person that you're with to whoever they're dating, you have to have some respect that they know, you know what I mean, that they're not bringing somebody bad around your child. You know what I mean?
Part.
25 cents. I left my purse.
They do have some women do bring crazy men around.
Well,
that part too.
Yeah, that's a whole different conversation right there.
Like they do.
So then ask the question. What the question I have now is, what do you do if you don't approve of your partner's other half around your child? How do you go about that in a respectful way without being, let's say they're a drug dealer or, somebody that is doing bad things. How do you get them?
You end it. If it's that bad, you end it. Here, you take your kid out of there and you say, nah.
Well, I'm saying, like, just example, like I'm dating somebody and my ex-wife has a kid, right? This is a fake scenario. And her boyfriend is a drug dealer. how do I tell her I don't want that person around
Well,
my
you
child? I don't have a
say this, and
child
it's
and I don't have a
either
girlfriend. So this is totally
you say either you fix this,
communication-
or I'm gonna go to
So
the authorities and
communication-
remove my son and my daughter
So
from that situation.
communication is key, and I think that there's an acronym that works well with this that I always bring up all the time. So I feel like not enough people hear it. It's another reason why I'm so quiet now in boxes and I like to talk a lot, because there's an acronym from Mr. Rogers that he says, "Why am I talking?" The acronym, wait, why am I talking? When is a good time to talk? When is the time to have a conversation? When is a good time to communicate? And communication is key. Obviously, if there's a situation like that that's dangerous to the child, obviously always you're going to communicate with your person when the time is right, and exactly how in depth you want to go. Like, do you want to get the cops involved? Do you just want to remove the kid altogether? What is a play-by-play scenario after you've discussed this? If it is, come to a conclusion between the two of you, and if it hasn't, then what can we do to resolve it? Communication always.
I want to say though, man, that is a tough situation, because I seen some choose their men over their child. Like, I love him so much, he ain't going nowhere, but he may be good to you, but not good for you. Not good for you and the family. He may good to you at some time, but not good for you with the drug situation. You know what I'm saying? So like, that is so important. So like,
and it don't even have to be drugs, guys. It can be somebody that's a alcoholic, or somebody that you just don't approve around your child,
It could just be their
I agree.
rude. It could
I
be their
agree.
rude and disrespectful. They have no principle.
Right.
Yeah. I just think that that comes to a time like now you got to build up evidence, because man, now you don't want your child around that type of stuff. Now, it's a true story. Like, my daughter met her father. He was a drug dealer, right? This is a true story. He was a drug dealer, right? You know what I mean? Like, but she didn't know. But one day, they went to court. My daughter went over to his house, and when we went over there, they smoking weed and drinking out in the front yard, cursing out. But I don't curse around my daughter, right? So like, my daughter not used to that, right? But now he's stepping up to the plate, and I told her, Mom, hey, my daughter came to me crying. Like, but that's the father though. Okay. Like, I mean, how we gonna fix it? Like, you're gonna have to have a conversation with him. Like, at least be respectful, don't bring around the child. But here is my only issue. When you're dealing with stuff, drugs issues, or drugs, alcohol, you risking the child as well. Right. I know a child right now got hit by a straight bullet. Gang banging, drug dealing. Like, why would you want to risk that? You get what I'm saying? Like, I can't sit here knowing that the risk that you giving on my child. You out here gang banging, drug dealing, and they follow you to the house. It can be any other day, or it can be just a accident, but it's still a risk, right? And then when it comes to alcohol, man, like, I know somebody right now that y'all know that I've been hard to. She called me when I'm on a video call when this man putting his hands on her. She tried to call me, and the child was there. But he blamed it on alcohol. How many apologies that you gonna give when a child has to watch that? You get what I mean? Like, we literally gotta step up, man. Like, forget the talk. But here, she afraid to leave. He said, scenario. She afraid to leave. He said, if you leave me, you're gonna be the last time. Now today, they doing it. They doing it.
And that's the sad part. I just watched, just for example, I just literally watched my coworker go through that. He got sent to jail because he ended up beating down the guy that ended up literally killing his wife. So it's just, you just never know. You know what I mean? Like,